So welcome back. This is round 6 of the Isle of Man International Chess Tournament. Sorry about the slightly prolonged break, but we should now be operating on super speed internet, and we will be going to the games at super speed. Are you ready, Simon?
I'm ready. I'm trying to get the games up now at super speed, but
you have no game
at the moment.
I
but
think
I'm sure
we might have to log back in.
Okay.
Log out and in.
Sure. So I'll just do that now. Super speed Simon's going to be super slow Simon. It's not the first time I've been called super slow, so.
Right, so we're just, okay, I think we are, Peter.
I think we might need a bit of help here,
yeah.
But you know, so, okay, we'll get back with you soon, so I'm sure. And you can see Hou Yifang playing against Fabiano there at the moment, and the game's really heating up in that encounter. And you've got the live board on the bottom left-hand corner with Hou Yifang just playing bishop takes e5. And that's getting really interesting there. So you obviously Hou Yifang, the current world champion?
Current world champion, and I think Fabiano has just given up the exchange, or what is going on there?
He's just given up the exchange. So that's quite a big, well, that's really going to make things interesting, isn't it? So, so we can keep an eye on that. And I caught Fabiano walking today with his manager, Lawrence Trent, looking very relaxed, you know. So
they do seem very relaxed most of the time. Actually, they came to our hotel last night. I was just hanging out with my good friend David Howell, and they came to join us, and we just sat around and had a little chat.
Cool.
Fabiano was telling
Cup
a bit.
Tea or a bottle of wine?
No, nothing.
No,
just
a little chat. So
just a nice little chat.
Yeah.
And stuff. Fabiano was telling us about his plans. Becoming a pilot or pilot.
Okay, yeah.
Just joking, in case you weren't with us yesterday, Fabiano is not planning on becoming a pilot just yet.
No.
But yeah, so if we look at the little live diagram, we're really sorry, having some trouble bringing the games up, but you can look at the little diagram on the bottom left corner, and there you can see Fabiano has just taken on e5 with the rook.
And that's a big move, because you're giving up the exchange, as you say, Fiona. So, but I think that looks like a very good exchange sack, very typical exchange sack. So we will come back to that game very shortly. I mean, while we're just waiting for things to load up, it's a bit of a windy day out here in the Isle of Man.
It is.
And I do love the walks. I've always got about a 10-minute walk, 15-minute walk down to the venue.
Here, yeah.
But it's lovely because you walk along the sea. My hair blows all over the shop, so I have to get my wax on, you know. And as people
do you have your comb on you? Is that what you pronounce it?
How do you say it?
Comb?
Can you say that again? How do you say it? Do I have my what on me? Can you just repeat that? Just maybe a bit slower this time. What do you say? Do I comb my hair? I haven't actually done that for a while, I don't think. Have you been watching too much of Something About Mary? Is that the one? No, I do have my. Can you say it for me?
I don't know how to pronounce it.
Try again. It's brilliant.
Comb. No, I can't say it any other way now.
Normally, Fiona's pronunciation is, should we say?
I know how to pronounce chess players' names.
You do, but you made me go red now as well. I'm glad they haven't got the camera on us at the moment, because there's a bit of laughing going on at the second.
So, do you have your comb?
Comb, that's right, yeah. What was the other thing you said? No, you can't remember now. But I do, because the wind's so blusterous here, you know, you've got to get ready. But it's a lovely place to play chess as well. And we're just looking at that now. So I think Hou Yifang maybe did not expect that move. You can see she's a bit shocked there.
If we look at her clock, I think she's now down to under 20 minutes.
She is. 13 minutes, is that correct?
I thought it was an 8, but
could be right. So
could be a 10 as well.
I think that move has basically shocked her, isn't it? You know, that rook takes e5, and that's
but I wonder. So what if she just takes back with the knight?
I think rook takes, and black's going to go for a strategy on dart squares.
Should we do some pawn counting? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So black is
got one pawn for it.
For the exchange.
Yeah, I think this is looking very good for black, actually. I mean, he's always got some kind of fortress-like position there. And yeah, apparently you've turned ginger as well now. So, but yeah, so we're just waiting on that one at the moment, waiting on that, and you can see many players in the hall here. So you've been a press officer here the last 2 years as well, is that correct?
I have been, yeah, and I feel very emotionally attached to this tournament in the Isle of
In the Isle of Man, yeah.
Because it's the first tournament where I ever really worked
hard.
No, I mean it was my first
Yeah.
ever job at a chess
Yeah.
tournament, so I was very happy, very grateful as well to Alan Ormsby, the main tournament organizer, to give me the chance to work here.
Yeah.
I had worked at the Reykjavik Open before, but on a voluntary basis because I was just making my first steps. But
Because they're cheap. No, sorry. Only joking. Everyone in Iceland don't mean that. So, no. But
so yeah, no. When 2 years ago I made my, so to say, my debut here, and I've always enjoyed coming back. It's a great tournament, and I think one of the incredible things about this tournament here in the Isle of Man is to see just how quickly it has developed.
Yeah.
I mean, it was already a very strong open tournament 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So the first edition, at the time it was sponsored by PokerStars, was won by Nigel Short.
Yeah.
And this year, I mean, we have 50 Grandmasters, which is incredible, out of 142 participants. So more than a third of the field are Grandmasters.
Yeah, and it's great. I hope chess.com, who've taken over sponsorship, can sort of keep this going for a period of time, and because it is such a brilliant tournament. We can now, just quickly in the background there, we're just waiting for the boards to be loaded up here, by the way, guys, which will happen any second now. So if me and Fiona are talking nonsense, this is basically what we do in the evening. So you're getting our evening session here rather than our professional commentator session here. And the evening session is always quite entertaining as well.
Quite entertaining, yeah.
But here we can see.
I think a fair few people in the chat, at least on chess.com, will have seen our streams as well, where we always have a lot of fun. And just to let you know, there will be a few streams coming up shortly, because Simon and I will be going to the European Club Cup just in a month from now in Serbia, and we're trying to raise some funds. So we will do some fun streams, get you the chance to play some strong players. We're planning, well, David Howell is coming to Hamburg just in 10 days. What are you laughing about?
Sorry, I was just thinking how you called my, comb. Something still got stuck in my head. Yes, anyway.
So we will be doing more streams, we will be doing more fun stuff. And I think I really like that about doing commentary with you, is we do discuss chess stuff, but we also have a lot of fun.
Exactly, it's good to enjoy the work as well, isn't it? So we do. And what about? Should we just talk quickly about the upcoming World Championship match, maybe? Because I'm very interested. Like, this is only about a month or so away now. Okay, just over a month, but it's going to be a massive thing in America, which is brilliant. And Magnus Carlsen is taking on Karyakin, and well, I mean, Magnus is big favourite to win that match. Do you think he'll win it easily?
I think he will win it rather easily, yes. But I think a lot of people seem to think that. I think Sergei Karyakin, he will have to show some excellent. I think his best chance is to catch Magnus in the openings.
Definitely. I mean, Magnus is great at nearly every area of the game, but he can sometimes be quite susceptible in the openings. And I actually, one of the only people I think I've spoken to, I don't actually speak to myself too much, but the only people I know who thinks it's going to be a lot closer than people realise. I think Karyakin's got a great chance. We have to remember he's got like a massive team of Russians behind him. I know Magnus Carlsen has his team as well, but he's literally supported so well by so many strong players that openings are going to be so good, and Magnus is really going to have to get ready for this sort of 30 moves of theory if he's not careful.
Well, talking of teams of second, and also just saying, I know I said this myself a second ago about the openings, but I think people are often doing Magnus injustice. Is that a word? Do injustice?
Injustice, yeah.
Because I think Magnus is a lot better prepared than a lot of people realize, but he just chooses to play some offbeat openings.
Variations, yeah.
But I think Magnus does know an awful lot of theory.
Yeah.
And just talking of teams, I saw yesterday on Twitter that one of the long-standing members of Magnus's team, John Ludvig Hammer, he will be doing commentary for the Norwegian television on the match, which means that John Ludvig Hammer will not be part of Magnus' team of seconds.
Yeah, that's a good, interesting bit of information there. I mean, the seconds I know of Magnus Carlsen, you've got Peter Heine Nielsen,
who is his main
one. Then you've got other people, I think, like Laurent Fresnay is known to be one of his seconds, and it'll be interesting to know, because at the last World Championship match, he didn't tell people who his seconds were. Because he didn't want to give away information. I think that's totally understandable.
There's also someone else. There is a Chinese grandmaster, Ding Liren. He wasn't one of his seconds, but they did have a training camp together at some point.
Right,
and he did reveal that. So I think there are quite a few people working in the background.
I mean, another amazing thing about Magnus, I mean, he's a great chess player, but the thing that I found, one of the most amazing stories was in Reykjavik, where you were. He popped over. He wasn't playing there in the Reykjavik competition last year or the year before. And they have the hardest ever pub quiz there, and it's a chess pub quiz, and I've taken part in this, and it's a brilliant fun night where you get together in a pub, obviously, and the people who prepare the questions get really impossible questions. It's on really abstract, strange positions which occurred in 1233 in I don't know, in somewhere like Azerbaijan, and you've got to name the players and name the position. And I took part in this, and I've got good chess knowledge, reasonable chess history. I did rubbish, absolute rubbish. And you've got people who come all from around the world just to take part in this quiz, because it's known to be the hardest quiz. Magnus Carlsen turns up with John Ludvig Hammer.
And he did team up with, John Ludvig.
Just the two of them, and they were against professional journalists and everything. And they got, I think, 20.5 out of 21. And John Ludvig just said he just sat there and just let Magnus write down all the answers. And you had I saw some of his questions.
I actually helped Magnus cheat at that one, because
now it becomes clear.
And Peter is getting very angry, because Peter actually finished in second place.
Right. Peter, I said famous journalists, and we have Peter going crazy here. So
Peter was teaming up with Ian Rogers, and I was thinking between the two of them. But Magnus was incredible. But I helped him. One of the questions was about Ivan Sokolov, actually.
Oh, really? Okay, all right. So,
and
can you remember the question?
It wasn't a chess question. It was whose laptop broke at the Reykjavik Open, and he then played some H3, usually H4 move.
Okay.
And I think he thought it was you or something like that,
right,
actually.
Okay.
And I was like, no, that
Good
wasn't
guess.
Ivan. And
brilliant. So hang on a minute. So you helped Carlsen cheat. Our producer here, who's also kind of your boss for this show, is now saying you're probably sacked. You're gonna, it's very likely you might not be back here again. You just made up that story, didn't you?
No, it's Simon. Do you know another question about the Reykjavik pub quiz? Do you know who the record holders are?
The record
of the highest score.
The highest score. I'd imagine it was that 20.5 out of 20.
But it's 30 questions.
Oh, 30 questions. Okay. No, I'm not sure. No. Who is it?
It's myself.
Yourself? Look, I know Google on the phone is a very good thing. Did you have Google on the phone for a pub quiz?
I did have an excellent partner, and maybe this was back when the quiz wasn't quite as tough as it is today, but it was still very tough. And I was on a team with Heini Olsen, who sadly passed away a couple of years later. He was an international master from Faroe Islands. And I was very impressed. And we got 29.5 out of 30, I believe.
Very impressive. Wow.
And I still have everyone basically just gets a blank paper. At the time, I think you just had to, now I think they prepare sheets. But at the time, you just got a blank sheet. And
you got that framed in your bedroom now.
I do have it,
Yeah, good stuff. And you also, I have to say, I'm gonna embarrass you a little bit now, because you did say earlier, you said don't mention this. Of course I have to mention it. And we were talking about gold medal winners in the Chess Olympiad, and you sat here very quietly, very modest.
So the other day, let's just remind people what we're talking about. Of course there are 3 gold medal winners in the tournament. They just won gold a couple of weeks back in Baku. That's Fabiano Caruana, Hikaru Nakamura and Wesley So, but there is a 4th one in the tournament who also won gold with the American team, and that's James Tarian.
Yeah, in 1976, yeah. And but we were talking about those gold medal winners, And Eva, you sat there very modestly, or did you just forget? I don't know.
I forgot.
You forgot. And Fiona forgot she won a gold medal. Can you believe that? It's like, oh, I won a gold medal at the Olympics. Oh yeah, I forgot I won a gold medal at the Olympics. Didn't even remember that one. And you won a gold medal at the. You won a gold. That's an amazing result.
I'm shocked you didn't know that because.
I'm sure you didn't know. You won the medal. I mean, come on. I mean, me not knowing is understandable, but you not knowing is even more shocking. You know, really. I mean,
I have to say, so this was, of course, a gold medal on the event, on the boards, so not with my team. But I was lucky. This was before the rules changed. Now you get individual board medals according to rating performance.
Yeah.
And back in the day, so this was exactly 10 years ago, I won my gold medal in 2006, Turin Olympiad, and it was percentage.
Okay.
And I scored 10 out of 12.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, it helped that my team wasn't playing up there, but still I was only 1900 and I performed at almost 2300, so it was a decent result.
It's pretty good. It's still nice to get a gold medal, because
it was quite funny because I won gold, and behind me was Katarina Lano and one of the Kozintseva sisters, I believe. So
very impressive. Yeah. It's good win, but I mean that is like winning a gold. That is the Olympics of chess. It's the chess Olympics, so that's still very, very impressive. And okay, well, I'm just going to see now if we've got any moves coming up, but we still haven't. So that's why we're just having a little talk. But you can see the players still here. If you've got any questions, by the way,
who you fan did grab the exchange from what we can see on the camera. Yeah. She probably didn't have a choice, and now a pawn seems to have landed on g2.
Yes, it has, and that looks very dangerous as soon as you get a pawn that far into your opponent's position. By the way, I should mention, if you've got any questions for us, then the hashtag is IOMChess. That's on Twitter, so get yourselves on Twitter.
And also, now is your chance, now while we're waiting to bring the boards up, if you want to ask us pretty much anything, you can do so in the chat on chess.com. So just go to www.chess.com/TV and you can ask us anything.
Pretty much anything. I think it's a safer way to say it, really. But yeah, so any questions chess related, and we're coming to the 2/3 of the way through the tournament here. Last third to come, which is going to be brilliant last part of the competition. Now we've got news, by the way, that Hikaru has won his game. We'll just confirm that as soon as we can.
Yeah, I was just going to go
against Elizabeth Pat.
I was literally just updating the results. Yeah.
Yeah, and of course one of the quickest people to win was David Howell, who did excellently here 2 years ago. Who's your tip for the tournament? I said my tip was Mickey Adams before the tournament. You said David Howell. Do you still?
Yeah, I think it was more for bias,
bias, because he's a good friend of yours. Yeah. That's who you want to win.
Yeah.
Who do you think will win?
But that's
I hope
also
David's not
harsh.
listening now. Yeah, so.
Well, David was listening to us earlier.
Oh dear, sorry, David. Yeah, no, we think David's going to win. By the way, another result coming through. This is a great upset from a good friend of mine, which I'm really happy about. John Paul Wallace of Australia beat the Indian player Lalith, and that's the second GM scalp I think he's had, so he's got great GM non-chances. Now I used to, John Paul Wallace does a lot of training over in England, coaching and stuff, so it's great to see him do well, and he's just had a new, well I say new, should we say a young child, so that's great to see him playing again.
And I see Tanya Sachdev has also won her game already. There are a few results, but nothing yet. Not much on the top boards.
No, so we've got that to look forward to. All the David is listening. Oh, I'm in trouble now. We just got a message. I just saw a message on Fiona's computer. Hi, David. Sorry, and he's saying.
I never said anything bad. I knew he would be listening. I know he loves us.
He loves us. Yeah. You just hit me under the table saying, wink, wink when no one can see. But no, David of course can win this tournament. He's totally capable of doing it, and he's in a good position now. And I'm going to say really nice things because he is listening. And I would never say a nasty thing when he's not listening anyway. And he's one of the, I think, most talented players in England that England's had for a long time. And I hope he keeps going with the chess. So
if you you picked Adams. If you could pick again, would you stick with that?
Would I stick with Mickey? Well, I'm going to stick with Mickey Adams, the long reigning top player of England. He's a great player. I'm not going to change. I mean, you could have some outsider come through like Benjamin Bok. I mean, I'd love to see an outsider win it because English love backing losers, basically. Like, that's what we're great at. We're great at coming second. We're great at getting knocked out of football, and we're great at supporting people who never win, I think, basically.
Like, who's your friend? Knocked out of Europe.
Knocked out of?
Europe.
Well,
you knocked yourselves out of Europe.
We knock ourselves out
Maybe
of everything.
We shouldn't go to politics.
Politics as well. Yeah, we even, okay, let's leave that one on. Yeah, we even knocked ourselves out of Europe. That was quite witty for you, Fiona. Well done. You actually, good stuff. I'm quite impressed with that. So yeah, we knocked ourselves out of Europe. That's pretty good going. Yeah. So.
So who could be another outside? I'm just thinking, if I had to put David aside for a second, who else?
Who else will we have?
Because I think it would be great to see an outsider win the tournament, but I think it's quite unlikely.
I think
they would really need to have the tournament of their lives, because there's still 3 games to go after this.
Yeah.
And it's really difficult keeping it up.
I'd love to see Jordan van Foreest win it. I mean, that for me, I think he's actually capable of winning Jordan van Foreest. He's a young Dutch guy, current Dutch champion. He's such a nice guy as well, such a modest player. I'd love to see him do well. I mean, you could say one of the big Americans will probably win. Yeah, they win everything. Why be so greedy? Why not just give it to someone else? Give the tournament to someone else. Don't be so greedy.
I was just going to say, if I had to pick someone besides David, who I still think will win the tournament, of course, I would probably go with Fabiano.
Okay. Well, Fabiano is solid, good, great player. I mean, I'd like. Don't get me wrong. I would like to see David win it more than anyone else. I'm just making sure I'm okay with him later, So yeah, I would. Yeah, he still owes me £5. So come on, I need to get my £5 back. But yeah, it's great. And like you may be wondering, we're just waiting for the boards to get loaded up. Do we have any questions, by the way? Sorry, Fiona.
I was just going. Let me check Twitter first.
Okay, so...
Do you agree that buys should be allowed in Elite Open tournaments? There was a tweet from Jive Par. It's an interesting question. I was talking about this with someone, I think it wasn't you, a few days ago, and I personally think that you shouldn't allow invited players to take a buy.
You shouldn't allow invited players to take a buy, maybe. I mean, it's really hard playing chess for 9 days, but the excuse...
But they know they will be playing chess for 9 days.
Exactly. And I also have to say, the excuse that Shearoff used, and I just have to, now we've got a bit of time to talk, the excuse that he used was absolutely hilarious. He took a buy when he was outright leader, because he wanted to eat. We have a player come in, which we haven't got the boards live, JP, but hopefully we will soon. So we're just having some technical problems, but we'd love to see your game if you hang around. Maybe we can, if we get a chance to show it. So we just had JP Wallace has just joined us, and he had a great victory of black today. And when we get the boards up and cracking again, we'll hope to get him on. So if you hang around, JP.
If I won today, I'd come up. So
brilliant. Okay, well, come back in a bit, and hopefully we'll show it. So, but Shearoff, basically, his reason for having a buy was that he wanted to go to a different restaurant. We're like, well, hang on a minute. You can go to a different restaurant. You don't have to have a buy. But he's so superstitious. He can only go to a different restaurant when he doesn't win a game. And he had 4 out of 4. He's getting so sick of the food there. I mean, when you go to KFC on the first night, you keep having chicken 4 days in a row, it gets quite tough. I don't think it was KFC, by the way. It was McDonald's. Is there a McDonald's? I don't think there is, but I don't know.
Yes, but
there is.
It's been refurbished at the moment.
It's been refurbished, so it wasn't McDonald's, it wasn't KFC. We want to know where the winning restaurant is, but that's the excuse. That's kind of a bit out of order, I think, yeah.
I really... I hope we get Shearoff in here someday. I don't think I will be able to stop myself from asking him.
No, we've got to ask him. Yeah. And that was, okay, people, just to finish that, he had a buy, literally, because he's so superstitious, he has to go to the same restaurant if he wins. He was there 4 nights in a row that he wanted to eat somewhere else, so he had to have a buy to eat somewhere else. I mean, just to finish the story. And we have to ask him that, won't we? There's no way he's getting out of that one. I'll let you do that interview, by the way, yeah? So, just in case we get in a bit of trouble there.
Okay, Simon, I suggest we try to bring up the players from the top boards on camera and see, maybe do some body language analysis if we
I like the idea of that. Oh, brilliant. Let's forget about the board. Let's go to Psychoanalyst Simon and Fiona show. I will be Dr. Simon, and have you got any glasses? Can I wear some glasses if I'm going to go into my psychoanalyst mode? Okay.
So let's go to Max Illingworth, and I think we might, just as we speak, be getting the moves back.
That's a pity. I was quite enjoying the psychoanalyst thing that I was about to come up with. Ruined a psychoanalyst. Okay, let's see if we. Okay, I'll have a look now. I might be able to get it up now. So
yeah, but we need to.
Here we go.
Okay.
So let me just do that. And Fiona, what do you think of these two players' body language? While I get the boards up and rolling, then, and I'll see if I can do that now while you discuss their body language.
Both look fairly composed. Yeah, both. Well, we're also now joined by Malcolm, who we also wanted to get on the show. It's now all getting a bit much. I wonder if, while you bring up the boards...
Yep, sure. But I think the boards are now working again, which is great news. So let's just check we have the moves coming through. We do. We're back on business, guys. And now there's no more nonsense talk from us. You have to let us know if you preferred our nonsense talk or our chess analysis, because when the boards go down, we have to talk rubbish, which I think we're probably Grandmaster level at, like at least
elite Grandmaster.
Elite Grandmaster, at least I am strength at talking nonsense. So
I think I'm a lot stronger than I am.
Yeah, I would say so actually. But actually, maybe we could get
Malcolm to join you for some more expert analysis,
which would be great if Malcolm's happy to do so. We'll just check with Peter. I know we've just had some slight technical things here, and while we just get that set up, we have a look at this very exciting game, I think, first, because this game is the one we've really been interested in, and this was between, let me find the game
Max
now.
Illingworth and Vidit. Okay, so let's rewind a few moves. We let it off after here, so Max took on a6.
And now Vidit played your suggestion here, Fiona. So Queen
I've been
E7.
getting quite a few.
You've been doing well. Yeah, very good, because this was such a hard position to assess here. And okay, Max Illingworth is 2 pawns up, so he's got an extra 2 pawns, but Vidit has gambled everything on a kingside attack. So it's kind of an all-in situation. And now Fiona's Queen E7, very good move. Maybe, I guess. Maybe. I'm a bit worried because you suggested it. I'm
a bit worried because I suggested it after a minute, and he spent 45 minutes on it.
And E2 is the threat. So okay, Bishop E2 played, pawn takes F2, so opening up the king. Now you might be able to go king. Well, you can't play king H1 now because your bishop's on pre, so you have to take that one. It does look like the white king's very exposed. Maybe one of the points here is that you can get a Queen A7 check at some point, at some moment. Black throws a piece into the attack. He's got to go Desperado style now. There's no way out of this. Knight to H4, and after Knight to H4, White brings a piece back into the defense. Knight to C2, and now a Rook to C8. So bringing the last piece in. And well, what is actually? What's actually going on here?
We have one more move by White, and Max played Knight E1.
E1. Okay, great stuff. And it's, well, okay, if Black doesn't checkmate, White will win. That's the thing here, because these pawns on the Queen's side are monstrous, especially that pawn all the way on A6. Can Black keep the pressure up here somehow? How does Black keep attacking here?
Because I guess Black... Can we rewind 2 moves? Because I was just wondering if...
Rewind.
Yeah, here. Instead of Rook C8.
Instead of Rook C8, okay, yep.
I was just wondering if Black could have taken on G2.
Taken on G2, okay. So King takes G2. I think I will... God, you're spotting all the tactics today. Yeah, so that's actually, why not Knight takes G2? Hang on a minute, what are we?
Because I was going to say Knight E1 was played to prevent Knight G2, but
then sure. Why not take his straight away? And Fiona, you got sharp all of a sudden. You've gone from 2200 to 2800 strength. I'm just going to give you the mouse and have a rest.
There must be a refutation.
Yeah,
I guess.
Well, let's have a look. King takes G2 doesn't look great. Maybe it is okay. Queen takes E2 check. Now you can't take the queen because you lose your knight on a C2. Let's just quickly demonstrate that. And the knight on C2 drops. So you can possibly get away with a move like king to H1. Because
but at least you've won one of your pawns back.
And you could just simply take the other one back now if you want to. Like Rook takes A6, something like that. So That's a good question. Why is
What
knight
are we
takes
missing?
g2 not actually cracking through at the moment? And is there a reason for this? So I think we will be joined by Malcolm, I think, soon. If just going to check with our producer. So no, okay. We're
Yeah, we will be.
okay, we will be. Okay,
We will
brilliant.
be.
So
So let's.
yeah.
I can't. I don't understand what we're
No.
missing here.
Well, I mean, maybe it's just it's a good point. I mean,
There must. I think the move is probably not king g2.
no, but if you don't go king g2, you've opened
Maybe
up the
bishop
king.
b5.
Bishop b5, okay. And now knight to e3 or something looks very. Look at that king. I mean, that king is looking so juicy now. Knight to e3.
Okay, but shall we stick with the game and we?
Yeah, the game's very interesting. Okay, so I think we'll quickly swap, and we're going to bring on Malcolm now to maybe go over some of the games with us. And I have to say, well, I expect most of you know Malcolm Payne, and one of the first times we'll stop the show very briefly and we'll just set that up. So if you just give us, stay tuned, we'll be back in about 30 seconds with Malcolm. Well, it's very nice to be joined by Malcolm Payne now on the commentary. And hi, Malcolm.
Hi, nice to see you.
And you.
Nice to be with you. Yeah.
I have to say, Malcolm, you might not know this, but
Probably not. Yeah.
first commentator I ever saw, and like when I thought this was great, and I started actually really love going to chess tournaments, was yourself, and it was at the British Championships.
Oh, let me think now.
Okay, little quiz question.
Plymouth.
I don't even know what year it was myself. So I
Ancient history. Yeah.
I remember
Ancient
I
history.
was about this high, I think, and we didn't have anything like electrics in those days.
Oh no, it was a demo board, right?
Yeah.
If we had 2 demo boards, we were really lucky.
That's it. That was high tech, wasn't it?
I used to do a
demos.
double act with Graham Lee, an English FIDE master.
Yes.
He was the straight man and I was the comedian.
That's right. Yeah. I remember popping in after my games to the room and watching your commentary there. So
it was very popular. The British commentary used to enjoy it a lot.
It was, yeah.
And now the British commentary is available to millions of people. In those days, it was
just a room.
Just a room.
Just a room.
A room with a demo board.
Right. So Malcolm, do you want to explain quickly before we look at the game?
Yeah,
So,
I mean, this is a very, very typical sort of pelican where black's structurally damaged, but he's trying to get activity, and he typically sacrifices his pawns on the queen side for an attack, and the attack is on the black squares.
Indeed.
And the next move is a bit of a corker. I don't know. I'm surprised it was allowed. Maybe the computer will show that white didn't have any choice. But you see this bishop on e2. It's defended by 2 pieces and it's attacked by 2 pieces. So it's ripe for a tactical exploitation, isn't it? You always talk about 1-on-1s, 2s-on-2s. So black went bishop d4 check, and that's very, very nasty because the white king. Maybe white had entertained thoughts of getting his king back to base. Yep. But now he's not going anywhere, so he had to go back to f1.
Yeah, because of course you can't really consider taking this one, I guess. I mean, let's just check, because the check on e2, and then it looks like all the black pieces are flooding in. You've got to go here. I mean, something should happen.
You just feel that something's going to go, don't you?
Yeah.
I don't know whether it's knight takes g2 and f3, or whether
it rook c2 maybe even is
rook
quite
c2 overloads, doesn't it?
Yeah. And we're threatening queen takes e1 check as well. You can't take the rook because the g2, something like this.
No, we're threatening queen takes e1 and mate. Yeah, brilliant.
So in the game, Malcolm,
So he had to go king
F1,
F1, yeah?
Yep.
And then knight F5 is a very logical move.
Yep.
Black squares all the time. White.
Yep.
A knight on a white square attacks all the black squares. Defends the bishop. And you can see stuff like queen h4 and knight g3 check coming in now.
Oh, that's nice. That's
I don't know.
nice.
I mean, there is rook h3 against that, so it's not
Yeah.
it's not all over. But you just feel, don't you, that it's looking a bit nasty.
Definitely. I mean,
queen e3 even, is that a possibility?
Queen e3. Wow, that's that's a nice idea. Well, I mean, let's just have a look. If something like, let's just say, I don't know, white is struggling a bit. Do we have another move here? Oh. Is this the same board? No, I don't think it is. We'll just see if it looks like
Max looks very relaxed, actually. He's just having a swig of water, looking away from the board.
I know. It's not the kind of position you'd generally be that relaxed in. So,
I'd be panicking.
So knight to f3 was played. I guess that's aiming to cover some squares. But, I mean, knight e3, you can win the exchange here, but you probably don't want to. There's no rush. You want to keep the initiative going. So bishop a7. And that bishop just cuts across the king so much.
It's very unpleasant. The bishop now is doing everything. It's stopping white's trump card, his passed pawn, and murdering his king. So you just feel with a piece multitasking to that extent that black must be doing very, very well.
Definitely. I think we can leave this one and say Vidit is got charge now, isn't he? He's gained control. Practically speaking, no matter if the computer said that white was doing well here, in a practical sense, you'd probably take black.
I don't know what the clocks are, but this is really deeply unpleasant. I must say, by the way, Vidit really impressed me at the Olympiad.
He's
a fast improving player,
and
I noticed at the GCT tournaments, he was seconding one of the top guys.
Yeah, so he's going to be something special, probably, isn't he? Yeah. And he plays great chess as well. So interesting chess. Okay, so now we should go to board 2. So this was, I think, was it Fabiano? Well, that was an interesting game. Let's go to Fabiano anyway, against Ho Yifang, and Fabiano had black there. So I'm just going to locate this game now. And of course, by what I do that, Malcolm, you were manager of the English team, and in the Olympiad. How was that experience?
It was a really enjoyable experience in some ways. The chess, it was fantastic being up close to all that incredible chess. Yeah. But the atmosphere created by some of the stuff that some of the FIDE people did really made it actually quite unpleasant.
Right.
I mean, the thing is that FIDE has been criticised big time for not doing anything about cheating for years. Yeah. They kind of ignored it, hoped it would go away. And then this time they just went completely over the top.
I like this, extremes.
Yeah, so they just went to extremes. So at one point, they banned pens and watches from the tournament hall. Now, I understand the motivation for that, and it makes a certain amount of sense. But anyone who knows anything about cheating will know that if you really want to get into cheating, these are a deadly weapon.
Glasses, right.
Yeah, and so is the earpiece. And, given that everyone was going through a metal detector, that seemed a little bit strange. Yeah. And also, the fact that no one could go out of the tournament hall, again, I understand it. Yeah. But, in some ways, we've got to try and find a modus vivendi here, because it was actually really difficult to meet people during the Olympiad, because everyone was in different hotels, but you couldn't really mingle during the event. Yeah. Actually, straight after the tournament, you had to get back to the hotel. I mean, look, what I do want to say is that the Baku organisers did an incredible job. I mean, bear in mind that the Olympiad is the 4th biggest sporting event by participation. Yeah. So if you succeed in organising an event of that size successfully, you've done something incredible.
Definitely. Well, we'll get your thoughts more on that bit.
Yeah, but let's see a bit of chess.
A bit of time trouble's coming up now. So we're
415 plays 14.
Yeah, certainly. And we can see the live board in Ho Yifang's game, and it looks, what's going on there? Okay, very quickly we'll go through the moves.
It's moved on, hasn't it?
This moment. So we're just get up to date. Last time we had a look was after this little tactical sequence, King H7 played. Now, Ho Yifang played a move that we didn't look at, very, very aggressive move, F4. So giving up a pawn to gain the center, and that's saying to Fabiano, I'm going to come at you. I'm going to give up a pawn. I'm not going to sit here. I'm going to have a go at least.
It wasn't necessary to play that way, was it?
I don't. I mean,
it was possible to play something quieter, right?
Even Fiona suggested something like bishops. Fiona suggested bishop c1 and bishop e3 here,
or even knight f5 and f3 or something. I don't know. Just keep it very solid, yeah.
And we had d4. So we just get to current position here. Queen b1, and now the knight comes back into play. And of course, we're going to try to keep up with the time trouble. I'm not really sure. But there's a great move coming up here. Bishop takes e5. Maybe only when Ho Yifang prepared this, she looked at pawn takes. Right. But now maybe the key move, rook takes e5. And that, offering the exchange, keeps control of all the dark squares, I guess, Malcolm. So that could be a turning point there, I guess.
Well, so that's got to go. I mean, white pretty much has to take that, otherwise all players refuted. So,
knight takes e5, rook takes e5. Okay, so white grabs this pawn.
And again, I think got to, because if black just solidifies the structure, black's just going to be better very slowly.
Definitely, there's no files to those rooks, and black had b6 coming up. F3 now played, so Fabiano's starting his kingside attack. Queen comes back to try and defend, but now that king's looking very bare. Very aggressive play from Fabiano.
Fantastic play.
He's a great player, isn't he? Really great player.
It's funny because I don't know, I doubt if he was expecting f4, but he adjusted to it really quickly.
Very well, in very good fashion. And let's just see how he kind of looks like he broke through. So queen f3, he's still material down, so queen e8, hitting e4, maybe coming to I mean, that's a non-standard move as well, I have to say. Rook a2, and it looks like there's some defensive, possibilities here. Knight takes e4, and now I think the killer move coming up, knight g5, or I don't know if it's a killer move, but it's a very scary
it attacks
move.
h3, f3, e2.
Yeah, everything, yeah. And now a lovely little sequence here. Rook. Oh, look at this. This is lovely. This is lovely.
Beautiful.
Look at this. This is a great move.
Oh, that's superb.
Queen takes e2. I mean, what an amazing
beautiful
move that is.
And that's a king and pawn ending. That's about as cold as it gets.
I mean, okay, I think...
So she can go for some kind of queen and pawn ending?
She's gone queen takes e2, and the point of this, Fabiano's kind of just given up his queen very briefly, but knight takes h3 check. The point is, for those of you who are not sure why this happened, is king takes g2, then you just swap off with this lovely fork, knight to f4. And the way it's happened is...
Oh, she went king h2 then?
King h2. And now, Fabiano's 2 pawns up in what is pretty simple winning position for him.
He'll just win.
And he'll just win that one. So, okay, so that was a lovely sequence there. And as it is time trouble still, we're maybe just try to keep up to date with some of the other excitement there. We're just to find what other games are going on, which is
I was wondering how Benjamin Bock was doing.
Let's go to Benjamin Bock. Benjamin Bock,
he's the man of the moment, isn't he?
He is. Great game yesterday. Brilliant game.
Awesome.
And maybe we'll just look at the current position here. It seemed like he was doing okay earlier, but now we have this rather strange ending where black has a knight and 2 pawns, so materially you could say it's even.
It's equal.
It's even, and I expect this is a draw.
It's just a draw.
Just a draw.
It's a draw. I mean, black's got a super solid structure. White can't invade without losing, say, his h3 and his f2 pawns. But how does white improve his position? So I think it'll just be a draw. And
black can't obviously even try to win here because he's only got 1 passed pawn, and that's not really going anywhere. If you push that, you probably lose it.
Indeed, and the rook can come to e7 if it wants to.
And the black king can't actually come into the game at all. So this should be a pretty standard draw.
I think. A draw at some point,
I'd imagine so. And okay, just while we're on a rush here, and we try to let's go to board 1, shall we? So this is going to decide.
Ulyanov was better here earlier, wasn't he?
He was, I mean, we could maybe pick it up very quickly from where we are. So this is a board 1 encounter. Both players on 4.5 out of 5, and a winner of this will be the lone leader of the tournament. The last position we looked at was around here, when strategically white should be doing very well. 2
bishops, better pawn structure, massive queen in the middle, but black's very
compact. And there's an immediate threat here, the cheeky knight to d6. I guess you've got to keep an eye on that one. And after bishop f4, Fiona, who's on fire today, I have to say, she's coming up with all these great moves. Really, brilliant moves.
We're not playing blitz with her in the pub tonight.
No pub blitz tonight. Especially not for money tonight. So we're keeping the money away from that. So you're winning all our pounds. But Fiona was suggesting quite an interesting move, g5 here, just to try to go knight d6. It's quite an excessive move because you're opening up your king, but maybe a possibility.
Maybe bishop takes e4. Bishop takes e4.
Maybe bishop takes e4 was the way to stop that from occurring. Okay, so the game had bishop d6, and now let's get to the current position because we have lots of exchanges.
So Ulyanov won a pawn.
Won a pawn, and now it looks like it should be a reasonably safe pawn. Transfers into the ending.
And the nice thing about transferring to the ending is that the rook is nowhere near as silly as it was before. Suddenly the rook's a real piece on b5. So
definitely, because you weaken this b6 pawn, I guess, from getting rid of this one. And knight takes a4, and now we hit the knight c5. I guess we got some more moves here. We do, so let's get up to date. There goes the pawn. and that's a nice.
Oh, that's a
move.
clever move. That's a Grandmaster move, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. Why is that such a great move, man?
Well,
that one.
Well, first of all, when you're in these positions, you're kind of focusing on your pieces and you're thinking about maybe activating your king because it's the end game. But a really good player actually just improves his pawn structure and suddenly creates the idea of a sneaky rook across at some moment, targeting the h7 pawn.
Yeah,
it's very clever.
Yeah, very clever.
Yeah. And it's also appreciating that I've got the time to do that.
Yeah. And you also, I suppose, cramp all the black pawns there. I mean, that one pawn kind of controls 3.
Yep.
Which is funny because you can't move really.
None of them can move.
Without doing anything bad. And I think this is heading the way of a white win here. Let's have a look. So rook takes rook, and now rook f4. Okay, finding a target there. And again, if this pawn wasn't on g5, black might be able to grovel with f6 here.
It's funny though, because Shirov plays very cleverly against this now. It gives himself some practical chances, actually.
Right, so he brings the king in, he gives up the pawn. So and it looks like there's 2 pawns up. c4, and now g6. Okay.
That's a small alarm bell though when you have to play c4, just because you can't stop the a pawn with the bishop anymore.
Right.
But okay, and there's a great rook that can reach a7, but I suppose it just gives black a glimmer, doesn't it?
A glimmer of hope. Yeah, I think so. And I mean, black's at least coordinated his pieces now. You know, before they were looking all horrible, but it's cost him a lot of pawns to get them there, isn't it?
How many? 3.
It's a serious amount of pawns. I suppose black will grab the one on b2. There is a draw, by the way, on board 3, and I guess that is the Wesley So game. And we just missed that, but Benjamin Bok still playing great. You saw his game yesterday, then, Malcolm?
It was a fantastic. I was just analysing it for the Telegraph actually for Saturday,
right.
and just the most fantastic game. So many amazing tactical points in the game.
Did you see him analyse in here? It was fantastic.
Unfortunately, I was in some meeting and I couldn't watch. I saw that you had him in.
Yeah, we had him in. He was fantastic because his clarity of the lines, because it was so extraordinarily complicated, but the clarity of his thoughts throughout the analysis afterwards was as stunning as the game itself. I thought
that always shows a great player, doesn't it?
It does, where you're not getting confused. He could just tell everything. He's got a great future, and he also played in the Olympiad and started very well in Olympiad.
He completely crushed Gwaine actually
in
one game.
I think I saw that.
Yeah, I mean that was the one really bad day that England had when we lost 3.5 half to the Dutch.
Right. Yeah.
And they didn't even have Jordan van Forest in the team, by the way.
I know.
Although the thing was, they were punished for that. They went downhill after beating us.
Yeah, of course.
They should have known.
They've got to pay the cost.
Yeah,
beating England.
There's always a price to pay, and except in football, when it's the gift that keeps on giving. But he was very impressive in that game as well, actually.
Up and coming players.
He did rather well in London, didn't he? So sure,
he
won the Open.
He won the Open. He won the Open. So he's clearly a major talent. And we'll just keep up to game. This is probably the most exciting game of the round. So we'll keep an eye on this for now. And we had this extremely strong bishop. Things were starting to go very wrong, we thought, for white here.
Yeah.
Bishop b5 now played. And now the knight does come into e3. Mm-hmm. Well, you have to eliminate that guy. Now queen takes e3. White desperate to exchange queens, and I can understand why. Get the queens off and you might live another day. And now rook to e4. And we have one more move, rook to e1. And the time situation, they've both put about 5 minutes, 9 moves to make. If you can get the queens off here, you've got a glimmer, haven't you?
Got some hope if you could somehow establish a knight on c4.
Yeah.
But it's still, you just feel black's going to be a bit too active.
Black's
rook is going to be.
Yeah, and it's this bishop does just contain the pawns at the moment. I mean, how do you get these pawns going? You need to get one to a5 and the other one to b6, which is a lot of moves.
So what is it? It's 2 moves, 3 moves, 4 moves. It's 5 moves before you're really doing something.
Yeah.
And you just feel maybe black will be getting in on the g pawn maybe by then. I don't know.
Yeah. And we can see we've got some more moves here. So queen takes queen's played, knight takes queen has been the response. And now it is black to move here. And I guess even rook b4 looks very tempting, doesn't it? Just if I get rid of b2,
well, if b2 goes, then it's technical.
Yeah, so that's right. So I think I'd certainly like to play this if it works, as long as I don't get hit by some
trick. Is there any trickery?
Yeah.
I don't immediately see any.
Because like I say, if we take b2, it should be game over. You've got a rook on the 7th, you exchange up, you've got rook f2s, tie the knight down, it's game over. I think Vidit is totally in charge of this one.
It's a very impressive player.
He is.
He's going to be over 2,700 soon, isn't he? That's if he's not already on the live, I don't know.
How old is Vidit, do you know? He's
91.
21. I mean, that's not even young, is it now? I don't know.
Well,
I mean,
look, I before the game, I went round the back row near the stage.
Yeah.
Sorry, didn't mean to say Etienne back row. The back row of tables near the stage, and there are all these Indian children. So if anything, he's a veteran.
Yeah,
I mean, there was there was a little boy. I think he's 11 or 12, and there was and there was someone next to him who looked like he couldn't be more than 13 or 14 or something.
I know, it's crazy, and I mean, I'm well past it now.
No, completely. It was a message. Yeah.
Stick to the commentary, Simon. Don't even try to play anymore. Especially not against these guys. So
I mean, there was a famous football commentator in England who once said, rather disparagingly of Manchester United, "You can't win anything with kids." And chess clearly demonstrates that this isn't true.
It doesn't work with that. So, you can win everything with kids. So but it's strange because if you look back maybe 100 years, I mean, I don't know, these things weren't really, but it's computers. Yeah, computers just mean people can learn so quickly. By the way, we have another result, and I'd like to look at that game when we got over the time trouble. Niditch with Harry the H pawn. And it's good that these 2,700-ish players are catching on to the way they should play. Well,
Vidit played your favourite 5H4 in the Grunfeld.
He did
and what a game that was.
Against Benjamin, actually. He beat Benjamin. So it's quite a dangerous little mate.
Harry the H-Pawn's making a comeback.
He is. Oh, he's always been around, Malcolm. I don't know about a comeback. He's always been lurking.
Well, right. So he's just more. He's just more commonly thrown into the fray at an early stage, isn't he?
He is, yeah. And I guess, I mean, I'd love to see that Niditch game, but we should go to Van Forest.
Okay.
Because he's been one of the great players in this tournament so far.
What a day for Dutch chess. So Van Forest beat Lecco.
Yeah, yesterday was
Nakamura.
Big.
Wow.
I know, and Peter was doing well as a producer. All good. So
it's always nice when the producer has a smile on his face.
It is. Yeah. Okay, so let's.
Where are we at?
Okay, I just gotta. My eyes are going to go by the end of this, but
there he is. So fourth from the bottom. Rolstein. Yeah. Fourth from the top. Excuse me.
Top. Right. Yeah. Okay. Right. Brilliant. And let's just look at the current position here. I think no point going over the moves to get here. Maxime with the white pieces and. Jordan with the black pieces here. Rook C7.
At first sight, it just looks like white's been squeezing.
Yeah.
It just looks like somewhere you get to in the middle of a positional squeeze, doesn't it?
Yeah, this certainly does. I mean, the problem if all the big pieces come off, I mean, and the rooks and the queens here, if you eliminate them, this king can start moving. I mean, it might be holdable, but...
And there's also H5 maybe at some moment, just causing trouble. He seems to... I think he's defended the rook, and there's been an exchange of rooks on D7.
Okay, so we have... we see, how did Mickey get on? So we see there Mickey, hopefully Mickey managed to win that one. And it looks, Mickey's got a smile on his face. You can't really tell much of Mickey.
That means
it means nothing.
He's looking he's looking at the ceiling at a very
not sure. Okay, there we go.
Until Matthew Carr, the arbiter, arranges the kings on the board, we won't know for sure.
No. And I think Mickey. Here we go.
Yeah,
Mickey
king's
won.
on the white
Good
space.
stuff.
Okay.
Good stuff.
Well done, Mickey.
Just to go to the current position, Bishop G5. I think Jordan's in serious trouble.
This is
here.
very unpleasant.
Really
How do you
bad.
defend everything?
Yeah.
B8 is on prise, D6 will be loose.
Yeah.
E6 will be weak.
Yeah.
And the bishop on B7 doesn't play.
It doesn't play, no. And of course you've got this pawn structure in the centre where all the pawns are on light squares, and that means you get to some ending. The bishop won't play.
The thing is, it's not a Dutch, is it? If it was a Dutch, it would be all right, right? I mean, it would be fine by definition. But however, if this pawn structure arises not in a Dutch, you're taking a chance. Right?
Exactly. A Dutch is all, you can always defend these ones. And this would have to be, it looks like a dodgy stone wall Dutch, doesn't it? I mean, very dodgy.
Looks like a stone wall gone wrong.
I think Maxime will win this one. He's having a very good tournament. Bad news for Jordan, but Jordan he defended amazingly against Hikaru. I don't know if you remember that game. He's 2 pawns down, opposite kind of bishop ending.
Yes.
I mean, we all thought he was going to lose, and he plays well beyond his years, people would say in some ways, very mature style.
Yes.
So, I mean, okay, let's have a look. Queen G7.
Queen G7, Queen B8.
Queen B8. I mean, I just think this is too much. It's too much, this one, to defend.
Oh, surely. I see A7 and B6 might go as well.
Queen E7, attacking H4, but
he'll just defend it.
It's not good. Okay, let's go to another board because I think it looks like white.
I think we can say white's doing very well there.
Okay, and now on board 1, this is obviously you can decide the leader of the tournament.
Oh, the pawn's got to A3.
Oh, it's marching. It is marching, and we had rook takes B2.
A fourth pawn's gone. It's carried on in the same theme. Black staking it all on the A pawn. Yeah.
So rook takes G6, King E5. And now A3. And hang on a minute. What's happening here? Okay, well. A3. How do you stop the A pawn?
Well,
that
maybe
is question number one.
I'm just wondering, how do you stop the G pawn though? So
Yeah,
maybe it's maybe
you give it up.
you go F4 check and then G6 or something.
Okay.
Just a thought.
Right. So here first, to push the king away.
Stop him getting away from
somewhere.
F6. Stop him getting to F6.
I don't know if you can go to F5. By the way, this didn't occur.
No, you went Rook A7.
The other thing I think you can give is Rook up, but then this is not entirely okay. Here and now A7. I guess just King
A2.
G2.
Okay.
King G2, because the threat here, of course, for anyone is Rook B1 and Queen. So maybe you can go King G2
And
here.
what's happening after Knight B3?
Knight B3.
We need something
Strong.
something clever.
Yes.
Well, we've got G6.
G6.
Yeah, should win. So Queen takes G7, no?
Yeah, and if Queen, then the G pawn is looking like it's a goer.
So in fact,
Yeah.
you absolutely don't do the F4 first, as I was suggesting, but just carry on
just
in a
carry
normal
on.
way. Yeah.
I think the G pawn's gonna win the day, isn't it? Here.
What is it? Is it
Yes.
Jerry the G pawn? I've never.
I call him Gary after
Gary,
our good friends.
after our man.
Yeah,
Okay.
after our man Gary
yeah.
O'Grady. It's got to be Gary. So
Yeah.
Gary the G pawn, and we will stay here. Just while we'll keep up to date with the moves, because we might see Shearoff. Oh,
Yeah, he's resigned.
There
yeah.
we go.
Yeah, I think we had that variation right.
At least that means he can eat at a different restaurant tonight. Did
Goodness me, this story, I've heard several versions of this story though, but the one I've heard that sounded most credible, even if it was incredible in itself, was that he changed restaurants and thought this was possibly bad karma or possibly bad korma, I'm not sure.
Yeah, korma,
and therefore decided that he didn't want to
what we actually heard with Shearoff is that he had the buy because he had 4 out of 4, and he eat at the same restaurant, but he wanted to have a change, but he couldn't change until he dropped half a point or lost. So he had to have a buy in order to change restaurants.
I hope this doesn't apply to clothes.
That's
That's all I can say.
Well, Karpov never apparently washed his hair unless he lost a game or something. He never lost a game.
There's some evidence to that effect, photographically.
Look
Either that or there's a lot of Brill cream in the Soviet Union.
And we have another result there. So, Fabiano
won.
was clearly winning that one. So
very impressive game.
Exciting, 20 minutes there. And Malcolm, I'd like to ask you as well about some of the things you do, because you run the chess and bridge shop in
hardly, but nowadays I'm not that really involved with it. But
no, but you've got other big things going on, haven't you? So do you want to sort of tell us some of the other stuff you do?
Well, anyone watching, obviously, we'd love to have you at the London Chess Classic later in the year in December. Where we'll have 10 of the world's top players, not Magnus though, but a lot of other guys. So we'll have the Americans who are here, and Levon Aronian's playing, Vlad Kramnik, the usual suspects. It should be great, and a huge chess festival surrounding it with a big open and weekend tournaments. But the main thing I'm involved in now is chess in schools.
Chess in schools, charity, right? So this is great. So you're trying to get chess into as many schools as possible to raise the profile and get people playing chess, basically.
So we're sort of active in over 500 schools now, chess in schools and communities.
Which is brilliant.
It's got incredible growth, and there's a huge demand for it in England. I'm really pleased. So people think that teachers and schools don't want chess, but we've shown it's the reverse. I believe we've got someone else in time trouble.
Board 4, and who is board 4? Just to remind us. So many games going on. I'm trying. Well, this was looking very good for White. What are the dates of the Classic, by the way, Malcolm?
December the 8th to the 19th.
December the 8th to 19th. I'm already signed up, Malcolm.
You're signed up for the Open, aren't you?
I'm signed up for
excellent. So if you want to take on this guy, come and play the London Chess Classic Open. You'll get your chance.
You get a chance to play me. So
King H2, and now wow, Black's hardly got any moves, really.
He hasn't got many moves at all. I mean, we had Queen E7, I think, already. Time situation, I
don't think there's any other move, is there?
No, I guess you've got to try to attack this pawn on H4.
But we don't even have to play King up. We can even play King away, probably, if we want.
I suppose the key thing, can you put your King on F4? I mean, they've just done this. I mean, you might not want to win like this, but it's kind of, if it does work, it works very well.
It really works.
It either works or it gets you in trouble. I mean, we've just had a repetition, by the way. They're not going to have a draw. King G3, Queen G7, King H2 was played.
I think Maxim's just down to seconds, isn't he? I'm just looking at the screen.
It looks. I think he's got 2 minutes.
Oh, is it 2 minutes 16? Okay, fine.
And
so
actually,
plenty of time then.
Jordan's gone Queen D7 now. So
right, trying to avoid repetitions, probably giving him chances to get to the time control without
thinking.
Yeah.
And well, they've only got 2 more moves to make, and then they do make move 40. So
he'll probably wait, won't he?
I think he'll wait. Yeah, till. If the queens come off, do you think this is winning? If you just remove the queens from the board, is this going to be winning? That's. I mean, I'm not. If this pawn wasn't on b5,
then it would be.
It probably would be because of the bishop here.
I don't know. So if it was white's move, say, and he went king g3,
yeah, and I put my king on f6 to stop you getting to e5, something like this. So I'm just imagining if the queens are off, which is useful to think like this when you're playing, because then you could go queen e8, for example.
For the sake of argument, if the queens are off,
yeah.
white king was on f4, black king was on f6.
f6, yeah.
Black bishop was on d7,
yeah.
White bishop was on d3.
Sure.
That'd be very solid, wouldn't it?
It'd be very hard to break through, I think. I mean, you might, even if you go e4, which is the only break, that doesn't really achieve anything.
No.
So it might be a draw if the queens come off, which means white's possibilities to win this are less.
Yeah.
Because you can't play a move like queen e8 here at any point.
Which pretty much forces them off.
Yeah. So you probably, if you're going to keep the queens on, how do you actually do this then? So
how do you make progress?
Yeah. Maybe you have to bring the king.
Well, okay, let's just go king g3.
Okay, so let's try this. And then queen g7 check.
I'm going to go for it.
Charge, full steam ahead there.
That's very difficult for black, actually.
Yeah, because the problem is you'd love to do something like queen
but
g2.
But you're always losing it with check, aren't you?
You lose this with a check, yeah, and that's key. So black has to stay solid. And can you even just run the king all the way in? I don't know.
Is black getting almost into Zugzwang, or black can try e5 check or something? Oh, no, he can't really.
I suppose he could try and sit, but then maybe you can get the queens off. So for example, if you go here now,
now you get the queens
and now
off, and
I
now
get
it
the
would be a
queens
win,
off,
wouldn't it?
it's a different story because I get the king to e5, and I go queen f7 next move, forcing that probably. So this might be what Maxime's just considering.
He probably just wants to do after move 40, doesn't he?
Yeah, just to save a bit of time.
Yeah.
Okay, well actually,
he's played queen f8.
That's probably a clever idea. Oh, it's offering exchange. Oh no, the king is on
h2.
So queen f8, and now queen g7 is probably forced here, I'd assume. Something like queen g7 in this position.
And then he can go even queen e8.
And you're trying to, or d8 or e8, trying to squeeze the queen actually. If you go here, where does a black queen go? You squeeze that queen.
Completely run out.
Actually, this is kind of, you only can go to g8. It's a very strange jigsaw. Yeah. But then I take your e6 pawn. This is winning.
This is horrible.
Yeah, it's winning.
Yeah,
okay.
no, I think we can, as they say in that soap opera, we can call that one.
That one.
Yeah.
Okay, so we go to one more board. I guess while the time trouble's going on, that's board 5, and board 5 is. Let me just remind myself, or hopefully be reminded. Which one is board 5? Who's on board 5? These guys. Oh, Illingworth and Vidit. Okay, so let's go there. And it looks like they must have made a time control by now. And I'm just going to find this so we can go from the moment we're at. But you can see the current board.
He's checkmating him.
He's checkmated him, okay.
Well, he's trying to.
Yeah.
Well, he's actually getting quite close to it, Boggs, but that's a very clever move at the end, actually. So let's see. Yeah, how did he do it?
Let's have a look.
Takes.
So he did go rook b4.
Nasty.
And he did get this pawn.
And then what?
White tried to go active.
And then black just saw a path and just went for it.
Yeah, and all he's got to do now is get this rook in somehow. And
why did he bother taking the a pawn? Oh, anyway.
You can see them now.
But
that's the win. So let's just see how it finished. Rook d7. Okay, well, rook takes a6, and the rook now comes in. The white king's very exposed here. 2 rooks coming down to attack it. Bit too late to push Harry.
Yep.
And now,
clever move.
Very clever move.
Yep. And that's that.
And that's trying to clear the second rank because, of course,
and it's threatening mate in 2 as well.
Yeah, because if you go check straight away, then at least the white king can try to run for the hills. So
he can dream.
Good. So before we give you a break, Malcolm, it's so kind of you to join us.
It's great. Brilliant tournament, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fantastic tournament.
It is great.
One of the strongest tournaments ever in the British Isles.
Definitely.
Say thank you to chess.com and the Scheinberg family for providing this entertainment. Really.
Certainly, and hopefully we can have this going on for a number more years. You know, we need great tournaments like this, and we've got so many brilliant players and everything. So
it's just a matter of getting everything in the calendar, isn't it?
It is,
which is good. I remember a few years ago there weren't enough tournaments.
Wasn't anything at all.
We have lots of entertainment. Thanks very much for having me.
Well, thank you. We'll have a short break now, everyone, and when we'll be back with Fiona and maybe even the tournament leader, try to get an interview with him. So stay tuned. We'll be back very shortly.
It's the Blitz chess match the world has been waiting for. Hikaru Nakamura versus Magnus Carlsen. The Grandmaster Blitz Battle Championship reaches its thrilling conclusion on October 27th, where after 6 months of epic online battles, the two pre-tournament favorites find themselves as the last two men standing. Four-time U.S. champion Hikaru Nakamura reached the finale, first by beating India's Pantala Harikrishna in a one-sided bullet affair, before he beat Maxime Vachier-Lagrave with one of the most accurate blitz chess sessions we've ever recorded for online play. But world champion Magnus Carlsen was no less impressive on his road. First, beating qualified GM Tigran Petrosian with a dominant and record-setting 21-4 score, before destroying reigning World Blitz champion Sasha Grishik in the bullet chess games, perhaps sending a message to Nakamura that their bullet games will not be a one-sided affair. The Grandmaster Blitz Battle Championship has been brought to you by PeopleTalk.ru, Buron Venture Capital, and Indigo Capital Partners. And the finals match on October 27th, set for 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, can be viewed live at chess.com/TV, twitch.tv/chess, as well as numerous other foreign language portals. These two Blitz chess titans will battle it out for the better part of the $11,000 cash prize just for this final 3-hour chess match. With the entire world watching, the only question left is, who do you think will win?
And we're back, and we're very happy to be joined by the new tournament leader, Pavel Ilyanov from Ukraine. First of all, Pavel, congratulations. How do you feel after today's game?
Okay, to be in the lead always very, very good. I feel good. And okay, today wasn't, I mean, it happens that it wasn't a good day for Alexei, I think. And it wasn't so tough task for me today because I was much better already after the opening. And okay, let's show.
I will let you show.
Yeah.
Can I just ask you, before you show us the critical moments of the game, what did you think of the Alexei's decision to take a bye yesterday? Do you think he might be fresher or he might be out of the tournament? What did you?
No, actually, it's quite reasonable decision because I had also some tough to get at some point, but okay, I'm in the lead here now. I don't see for myself. I don't see a big reason to do it, but okay. Tournament is very long, I mean, and time control also very long, and I think it's normal because we have no rest day, so it's quite a reasonable decision. And
okay, let's go to the game.
I mean, yeah, I played this one. Maybe my last 2 games I played e4, which is not common for me. And
Yeah, we were talking about this.
to experiment
Yeah.
with e4, so maybe Alexei wasn't very well prepared to this line. Okay, also from time to time I play this, and okay, this is actually this idea was played by Giri against me in Shamkir tournament. Also, I was in trouble. I mean, I played black, and then now I wanted to check it with white. Okay, maybe.
How did that game go?
I mean, it was a transposition. I played c6 first, but okay, it doesn't matter.
And the result?
I drew, but okay, I was worse after the opening.
Okay.
Okay, this is the most logical move. Then I play this. The idea is that in some variations, in some lines, bishop on h5 is a bit misplaced. So it's quite tricky. Okay. And okay, this is also very normal position. I think maybe e5 immediately is better here because okay, in the game anyway he played d5 after a couple of moves, but okay, it's not, of course, it's not mistake anyway. Okay, he played. Yeah, and here actually, okay, it's not that easy to play with black because I always want to play f4, then some and with eventual attack some lines. Okay, not that easy. I mean, that's why maybe e5 in one go it's more logical.
Actually, I was saying that if I didn't know who was playing here and I saw the position with black, I probably wouldn't guess. I mean, Shirov wouldn't be an obvious guess. We're used to seeing his, aggressive, crazy games. So I was wondering if this is maybe not the kind of position he prefers.
Yeah, okay, e5 probably he's just tempo down. Okay, and anyway, of course, it doesn't matter so much because position is closed. But at least it's more or less clear that I have some edge. Maybe not much, of course. a4 it's very logical. Okay, a5 also. And here, actually, yes. Here he took with the pawn. Maybe it's not the best choice because I thought he should take with the knight. Then I play this. This is what I wanted to play. Okay, I have a lot of options. Maybe d4 here. Okay, I wanted to play bishop d2 just, and okay. Also he has this little bit weakened pawn, and okay, white is no means, so white is more comfortable. But okay, of course, nothing tragical happened with the black. But he took with the pawn, and okay, I played this nice move. Maybe this is what he was overestimating. Okay, it's not so obvious that knight will go back. I mean, but now my position is very nice. I think I have a nice plan. Next I will play this, and then he has also not that easy to defend this pawn. But okay, then my knight going to b5, and it's not so pleasant at all to play this position.
So you think all of black's problems in the opening are coming from the fact he lost the tempo?
Yeah, first of all, he lost the tempo, and then okay, maybe he should take on d5 with the knight.
Okay.
And then okay, he played this bishop b4, but okay, it's clear that if he's losing another tempest, and he's changing his last bishop. It's not such a good position, but okay. I'm not sure what is the best move here. I think just white is just clearly better. Yeah. Okay, then here maybe okay, just it turns out maybe just close to and maybe it's already hopeless position because okay, I have two bishops and black has a lot of weaknesses. Okay, I mean from practical point of view, it's very hard to defend
Mhm.
such a position because almost no plan and
So how
no
do you
counterplay.
how do you feel at such a point in the game? It's only move 18, and you understand you
yeah.
already have almost.
Yeah, it's as I said, it happens that maybe it wasn't
Mhm.
the best day
Mhm.
from Alexei point of view.
Mhm.
I played this d4 the most. Also, I checked this
Mhm.
line. Also, it's also should be clearly better. Maybe he should sacrifice the pawn because GF is completely lost.
Mhm.
And something like this, c4 also I didn't see how to play with black,
Mhm.
but at least he has knight on c5, which is good, the only good piece of black, but still of course much better for white. But I wanted to play d4. Of course, also it's clear that if I will not blunder something, it should be winning.
Mhm.
And then my next is rook d1, and
Mhm.
it's impossible to defend everything. And then he decided to give up this pawn, take. And I played this. It was not the only move, of course, but I think it's rather precise
Mhm.
because I'm forcing to swap queens, which should be very good
Mhm.
way to win the game.
Mhm.
Because this is not work at all. I think I'm just taking here, and this is surely bad. Maybe I can just take here,
Mhm.
take and rook g7. Surely it's lost.
Mhm.
And he should take. This is it was last finals
Mhm.
because otherwise it could be not so that easy because this is not work. It was a very important
Mhm.
line and take. White is winning. So actually this is completely lost for black.
Mhm.
g5. Not only I'm pawn now, but better pieces.
Mhm.
No,
So maybe there's no point to.
Yeah. I don't
look.
know. Yeah.
I think it was flawless conversion. I mean, it
Yeah.
seemed like.
Probably.
Yeah. Okay, so I mean that's a great start in the tournament. You're now on a 5.5 out of 6. How do you feel here in the Isle of Man? How do you like the tournament?
Yeah, I like very much the place. It's very nice. I like such
Is it your first time?
Yeah. It's actually my second time in Great Britain.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is your routine during the tournament? Do you go for walks in the morning, or do you prefer?
There is not much time.
Not so much time,
before the
early
round
start.
because rounds are starting quite
Mhm.
early, so I have a bit of preparation. Some walk after the game,
Mhm.
and
So can I just ask you there? Well, you are obviously the sole leader, but we also have some young players here who are doing very well. Have you had time to follow some of the other games, and are there some players who are impressing you here?
No, of course I'm following more or less every game from the leaders board.
Mhm.
So of course there are a lot of good players and young players like Vidit, like Van Forest.
Mhm.
So actually they all are very strong players,
Mhm.
and they are improving, of course.
Mhm. Well, as you said, it's a tiring tournament, so I will let you go, have some rest, prepare for tomorrow's game. But once again, congratulations and thank you very much for stopping by to share your thoughts. And we will have a very quick break. Simon is on standby and he will be back here with me in a second, so stay tuned.
it's a great honour to have my good friend here, John Paul Wallace, who is having a fantastic tournament, I have to say. And well, you had a lovely victory today, yeah? So
yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, definitely. And you destroyed someone with black, yeah? So,
yeah, King's Indian, your style.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. So we like King's Indians because you always get interesting, exciting games. And,
yeah, exactly.
And second Grandmaster you defeated here?
Yeah, that's right.
Good, man. Yeah. And have you got any GM norms?
No. The closest I've got is half a point off.
Okay, so here we go. This is your tournament.
Yeah, hopefully.
GM norm, here we come.
Yeah,
and,
fingers crossed.
Definitely, man, definitely. So, well, do you want to show us the critical moments of the game? So, talk us through it.
Okay, so yeah, it was King's Indian.
Yeah.
I thought he might play Averback, but he went knight f3 on move 1, so that was out.
Okay, right.
So he played the trendy h3.
Right, this is all the trend now, isn't it?
Everyone's doing h3, g4 stuff.
Yeah, okay. So I'm never really sure what to do against this, so you can show me now.
Okay, cool.
Which is good. Yeah.
Well, you'll probably like the line I played because it's more sharp.
Okay.
Because after e5, d5, you can play like a5.
Sure.
And slowly, but then white always does g4.
Yep.
So knight h5 is like the more direct approach.
Okay.
So if g4, you've always got knight f4 and you're just forcing through f5.
Sure.
So the way I look at it is the other line you can sometimes get positionally squeezed, whereas here if you lose it's normally if you get tactically smashed.
Okay, that's good.
So I saw that as a good thing.
Perfect, yeah. If you're going to lose in style, yeah?
Yeah, exactly.
Good.
So knight a6 is like Van Kampen's speciality.
Okay.
It's like a bit of a waiting move.
Right, yeah.
Because you can go f5 straight away.
Yeah.
You went bishop e2, you can do all sorts of other moves.
Sure.
f5.
Yeah.
Take, this is all normal.
Yeah.
And now, I think knight g5 is the most dangerous move here, and I think there was a game of Rothstein.
Right.
But he played bishop g5, which is also normal.
Yep, sure.
But I was already slightly relieved because I think knight g5 is more dangerous.
More scary, okay.
Yeah, because you can go... with knight g5, you've got more chance of getting g4 in or the knight coming to e6 and stuff.
Sure.
But this is still book.
Yep.
But now, to my relief, he started thinking.
That's always a good sign, yeah?
Yeah, because I started thinking as well, even though I was pretty sure I have looked at this position at least a little bit.
Yeah.
But when he started thinking, I was a bit relieved.
Yeah.
He played a3, which I think it's sort of the move you're happy to see when you're black.
Sure.
And he could probably move his queen out somewhere, is probably better.
Right, okay.
Maybe queen c2, because knight b4 is not really a threat yet.
Yeah.
But this is, I guess he just wants to be flexible and maybe play his queen to c2 or play b4 or something, but it just feels like a tempo was a lot in such a sharp position. So just get on with it. And now already queen c2 is a bit late, maybe, and because I've always got take on d5. And he went here, but now I get knight c5 in and he can't go queenside.
Sure, yeah.
So at this point I was already feeling pretty good.
Looks all right here, actually. Queen knight into b3, good active position. So
yeah,
just what you want when you play the King's Indian, yeah? So
yeah, exactly. So it's already looking positive here.
Yeah.
So rook d1, queen e8 is a bit irritating because now he has to deal with knight e4.
Okay, yeah, you see, get out the pin here.
Yeah. So I already thought, I don't know what the computer's saying, but from a human point of view, I already thought this was difficult for white already.
Right, where does he put his king, you know? So
yeah, where does the king going to go? If you can go bishop h6, but then I can go like knight e4, knight e4. Yep. We can show it.
Yeah, sure, show it on the
Say
board.
If he goes here, just to try and swap some pieces, then maybe just, or maybe even the other knight.
Yeah.
Take.
Yeah.
Take. And if queen e3, there's a nice trick, f4, queen e4, bishop f5.
Right.
If he goes to c1.
Yeah.
Here it just looks like a very nice position. I mean, I could maybe just play f4 and get on with it straight away.
Sure. We're being told actually the computer, the stupid computer which tells us everything, starts to like your position from move 13 onwards.
Move 13.
So as soon as you get knight c5 in. So you're right. So as soon as you felt happy, it's good to know you're with the computer. So all good.
Oh, I want to take the chance to thank my wife, Astrid.
Okay. Yeah.
Because she told me to play the King's Indian and go for his stroke.
Ah, brilliant. So thank you, Astrid. So
thanks, Astrid.
Good thumbs up for Astrid.
Yeah, because there was a chance I could have played something solo, but she's like, no, you're playing well.
Okay, good.
She's like, you're playing well, you're on the roll, just keep on playing aggressively. Yeah.
Well, it's good to have your support team at home.
Yeah.
And you've got a young child as well, we should
say. My daughter Freya just turned 3.
Wow. Okay.
And
so will Freya maybe be watching now?
Probably.
You've got to say hello
Hi,
to
Freya.
Hello, Freya. Hello, Daddy won today. Daddy's a great player. So, yeah.
Even though she's only 3, like
Yeah.
she's super supportive and she says like good luck and everything.
Oh,
so
brilliant. Okay, good.
I definitely
Yeah,
think I'm playing well because of Astrid and Freya supporting me.
good.
Makes
That
a
helps.
makes a massive difference.
Certainly.
They're the best seconds you can have.
Definitely. That's what we like to hear.
So Queen E8 is already tricky.
Yep.
So you decided just to try and swap some pieces, which
Yep.
is obviously when you're black, you're really happy to see the dark squared bishop come
Yeah,
off.
of course, yeah, because you're always going to have decent play here, so.
Yeah. Maybe he was counting on bishop takes f6.
Yeah.
Although I think that's perfectly playable because I mean I can always sack the d pawn,
Yeah.
but rook takes f6 introduces bishop h6 in a lot of lines,
Sure.
and maybe in some lines queen f8 and f4, and
Okay, yeah.
so it's looking maybe
Looking good.
it's looking really good now.
Good stuff.
I'm assuming he had to do something better than bishop f6, but it's hard to see.
Maybe.
It's
Really,
hard to see.
really tricky to play a white.
Very difficult, yeah.
Because you're coming at him.
Yeah, now
Yeah.
bishop h6.
Nice.
Maybe when he took an f6, he missed. Maybe he missed that in this position knight b3 is working.
Okay.
Because after queen e3,
Yeah.
he's got a few tricks. Like he's got tricks like at some moment knight e4 and then take back on b3.
Yeah.
Maybe if he gets h4 in or something. There were some variations, or f4 here, for example, knight c4. I think that's white's trick.
Okay. Okay.
But if I go queen g6 first, it sort of
Yeah.
cuts out the tricks.
Yeah.
So then if h4, just knight d4, and his position is looking really bad.
Yeah.
It's getting so bad you're thinking about sacking the exchange, but you then
Yeah.
black's just winning. So
Sure.
f4, knight d4.
Lovely pieces, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good stuff.
And now there's like moves like b5 in the air, but there's nothing wrong with just develop and just play. The position is so good. I just thought just play simple chess.
Okay. Good. Yeah. Simple chess is good. You know, don't need to complicate. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rook e8.
Yeah.
Yeah, because again, yeah, h4.
So there might be some tricks are taken on f4 there, and some
Exactly,
positions
exactly. Like
Yeah.
I think it was the last move. Was
Yeah.
it this position? EF4 is. Was it here? EFG. Yeah, or maybe here. EF is tempting.
Yeah.
Because if what was the line? Queen d4. Just trying to remember.
Yeah.
There was something about the bishop coming to g7. He was dropping a piece. I'm just trying to remember.
Okay. Bishop g7 here looks like a very
Yeah,
good move.
I
as well,
decided
so
just to keep it simple. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
okay.
also, if I take on f4 straight away, you can just take with the queen if there's some issues.
Sure.
So you just went there. Maybe it was this position
Yeah.
after king h2 where I can take on f4.
Okay. Yeah.
Because you can't really take on d4, because I can always just move my rook back.
Okay.
Or take on g3 check and then move my rook back.
Shall I show
Yeah,
that?
yeah, show that.
Sure. So if we take on f4 here, and if he tries to grab your piece,
Yeah.
then you can maybe flick in a check
Flick in the
first,
check, yeah.
and then you just want to do the rook back to f8,
Yeah.
releasing the bishop, and then you win his knight next move.
Yeah,
So
and completely winning
Yeah.
with the king on g3.
brilliant.
But I had to
Nice.
sort of
Yeah.
be not too cute, because after ef he can take with the queen, and it's not clear I wanted to. It's still very tempting, and I was calculating this because I try and get the bishop to e5,
Sure.
but it also gives him the chance to try and stabilize knight h3 to f4.
Okay.
And so it's give and take, but it looked better and simpler just to maintain all the tension.
Sure.
Because now he has to deal with not just ef, but e4, e3, which is what happened in the game.
Wow. Okay. That's a biggie.
And I think he's got to do something straight away to prepare for that. Maybe, I think I was looking at queen d2 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think queen e2 might have been the move I was looking at. But after he played here, and I think h6 is basically just winning
Right.
now because I'm just rolling. Because there was a few little tricks. I think there was some line, maybe it's later, where I've got to be careful of rook takes, maybe playing e4 too quick and allowing rook d4 exchange sack.
Sure.
So that's why I pushed the knight back first.
And now here comes Eddie the e-pawn.
Yeah, just
Eddie, look
now
at
it's
that pawn.
rolling, yeah.
Yeah, good stuff.
Because you can't even sack the exchange if you can show.
Yep.
Because unfortunately for him, after it is e3.
Oh, e3.
Yes, you can't
So
even sack. You can't protect his rook.
It's not an exchange, it's a whole rook.
It's a whole rook.
Wow.
So the tactics are just flowing.
Yep.
He has to go to E2,
Yep.
otherwise E3, E2, and it's really Eddie.
Yeah.
And now it's a bit depressing. He went to G2, which is pretty normal.
Yeah.
And now I've just got to, it's almost like the last trick here is, for example, you can lose any position, right? If you take here, you can take on D4, just to show a little cheap, a little cheap trick.
Oh, wow.
Because you might be tempted to flick in CD first to see,
Yeah.
but you know, that would be a bit sad.
And then if bishop takes, queen takes D5, of course.
So you can lose.
Wow.
You can lose any position.
Any
if
position
you don't
is
calculate.
losable. Yeah, I know that. I've learned that from hard experience. So,
Yeah. As Max said to me the other day, Max Illingworth coming soon maybe.
Yep.
Good technique is good calculation. So I just had
Yes.
to just check all the cheapos.
Yep.
So I take. He has to take with the knight.
Yep.
Because the knight's hanging, which is sort of good because ideally he'd want to take with the queen maybe.
Sure.
Because now I just rook e4.
And you've got two bishops.
It's domination,
as well.
yeah.
Wow.
And
Lovely.
his knight is dominated.
Yep.
God,
it's horrible for
I
him,
just
isn't it?
take. If rook takes bishop c6 and
Yeah.
bishop b5, he had to go
Let's move
back.
this mouse out the way. So yeah, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bishop b5 had to
Yeah.
go back.
Another piece comes into the attack.
Yeah, at this point, I had enough time, but I was maybe slightly low,
Yeah.
and I didn't want to get into massive time trouble. So
Sure.
I don't know if the last 10 moves were that great,
Okay.
but I didn't want to sort of overthink because I played queen f6 to come to b2, but it does allow g4 at some point, so I don't know if it was the most accurate. But if rook c8, you can play rook c1, so I mean, maybe it doesn't matter at this point. It looks pretty bad.
Yeah.
But he did at least manage to push his g pawn up, but
Sure.
I'm just coming straight in.
Well, look at your pieces there.
Yeah,
They're flooding all over him.
I
so,
know.
Yeah.
His g5, I just went
Yeah.
to g6, and
Yeah.
it probably didn't matter that I
Sure.
allowed that.
Okay. Now you block it up over there.
Yeah, now the next move is just a bit cruel because
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
so you can't get anything in there.
Stop any.
In the
hope,
end, it
yeah.
didn't matter.
Yeah.
Now I just collected his d pawn,
Yeah.
g6,
Nice.
and there's nothing to be afraid of with queen takes h5 because besides the fact that I've got discovered checks and stuff, you can just show that when the queen comes here, there's always king f8, and if you play the dragon or king's Indian, you sort of know that it's a bit impossible to make this king
Yeah. It's not checkmate.
here in that structure. So
Oh, yeah, let's play his knight back.
he had to
That's
go
not
back, and now
Yeah.
I'll just bishop back to this diagonal now.
good. Cool.
And after king h2, there's a choice of rook d4, but rook e6 looked a little bit
Yeah,
simpler and
okay.
over.
And it's completely all over here. I mean,
Yeah.
like, you completely dominate the position. Okay, you can swap queens, but
Yeah, you
you're
can
gonna-
make it to an end game, but
you're going to take on g6. You
Yeah.
can't move any of his pieces there. So
the final position
Yeah.
was...
that was a lovely game. Then,
horrible.
so good stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen some great victories in the King's Indian. We had Benjamin Bock yesterday. I don't know if you saw that game.
Oh, I was inspired by that game.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
He destroyed Hikaru with black in the
I
King's
know,
Indian defence.
that was
And,
amazing, and Hikaru is an
yeah.
amazing King's Indian player himself. So
Exactly. So it's a good opening. Yeah.
That was actually partly... I've got two people to thank,
Yeah.
Astrid and Benjamin.
Astrid and Benjamin, so good. So
They were my inspiration.
good stuff. Well,
Yeah.
I want to know what Astrid's going to tell you to do tomorrow. King's Gambit, you know, something crazy.
Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see. But
Yeah.
well, that was really cool, JP. And
Thanks,
I
man.
really hope you get your Grandmaster norm here. I mean, there's plenty more games to go, but you're rolling at the moment.
Yeah.
And just before you go, I mean, you do some coaching in the Hampstead area. So if there's anyone in London and Hampstead and they need a good coach, I mean, you're originally from Australia, but you live in Hampstead now.
Yeah.
And, do you want to tell us a bit about what you do there?
Yeah, my wife and I run a coaching business,
Okay.
and we've been running it. It's been going for about 10 years now,
Right, cool.
and lots of talented kids coming through. So
Sure.
really happy.
So that is in the Hampstead area. So
Even
Mainly.
across most of London now,
Okay.
or at least central and northwest.
brilliant. So if
Yeah.
anyone wants to get in contact with you, then they can find you've got a website, I guess, or
WallaceChess.com. Easy one.
WallaceChess.com. There
Yeah.
we go. We even got a shout out for you.
Thanks, mate. I owe you a beer.
Good stuff. I'll take that. Good. All right. Well, thank you very much.
All right, cheers,
And
mate.
We'll
It was
be
fun.
we'll be right back with Fiona and interviews with Benjamin Bock and Caruana after a very short break. So see everyone soon.
All right, cheers, mate. Thanks.
Cheers. Good stuff.
It's the Blitz chess match the world has been waiting for. Hikaru Nakamura versus Magnus Carlsen. The Grandmaster Blitz Battle Championship reaches its thrilling conclusion on October 27th, where after 6 months of epic online battles, the two pre-tournament favorites find themselves as the last two men standing. Four-time U.S. champion Hikaru Nakamura reached the finale, first by beating India's Pantala Hari Krishna in a one-sided bullet affair, before he beat Maxime Vachier-Lagrave with one of the most accurate blitz chess sessions we've ever recorded for online play. But world champion Magnus Carlsen was no less impressive on his road. First, beating qualified GM Tigran Petrosian with a dominant and record-setting 21-4 score, before destroying reigning World Blitz champion Sasha Grishik in the bullet chess games, perhaps sending a message to Nakamura that their bullet games will not be a one-sided affair. The Grandmaster Blitz Battle Championship has been brought to you by PeopleTalk.ru, Buron Venture Capital, and Indigo Capital Partners. And the finals match on October 27th, set for 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, can be viewed live at chess.com/TV, twitch.tv/chess, as well as numerous other foreign language portals. These two Blitz chess titans will battle it out for the better part of the $11,000 cash prize just for this final 3-hour chess match. With the entire world watching, the only question left is, who do you think will win?
Hello and welcome back to the final part of today's show. It's round 6 here in the Isle of Man, and we've just had a couple of very nice interviews. Had the tournament leader Pavel Lilyanov here, as well as John-Paul Wallace. But now, Simon, you are going to give us a little masterclass, I believe.
I wouldn't say masterclass. I'll say I got when I had a little break there when you were doing that great interview with Ilyanov, I had a chance to, I was checking my phone, as most people do nowadays. I should really throw it away in the I don't know, sea or something. But Danny Gormali again, he's following the tournament, and he mentioned that in a very important game, the board 2 game between Ho Yifang and Fabiano Caruana, that Ho Yifang basically blundered, and that she was actually doing fine. And this is the critical position on move 28. She was apparently very short a time, And we saw the lovely finish. This is when Malcolm Payne was with us, that after queen to g4, she fell into this very nice tactic, which I think is really worth showing again, because it was one of the tactics of the day. And that was rook takes e2, rook takes e2, and now the quite astonishing move, queen takes e2. And it's the kind of move you take a second look at and think, hang on a minute. And the point of this is there's no perpetual checks. You have to go queen takes e2. You're a queen up, but Gary, after knight takes h3 check, it's game over. Because if you take the pawn, knight to f4 check, forks the queen and king. You can see the tweet there. And if king to h2, as was played, well, now you can queen. The knight controls that square. And of course, black is 2 pawns up here. And that is a very easy win. But the moment Danny mentioned was that instead of queen g4, had white simply played queen takes g2, and of course, I'm not sure why she didn't play this move, because that eliminates the very strong pawn. This position is absolutely fine for Hou Yifang. I mean, it's practically, maybe black is a bit better, but the computer says it's 0.00, so really a draw. And there is some more tricks. For example, I think his knight takes here. Maybe not. Well, you can go knight takes h3 check now, because if queen takes, you take on e2. But here, white does play king h2, and this holds things together. So that is, that was a opportunity for Hou Yifang to at least keep the game on an even playing field and not allowing that beautiful finish. So
now we've had a look at that game. We are going to hear the thoughts of the recipient of that, blunder, if I can so say. We're going to listen to Fabiano Caruana, who talked to Mike Klein after his game.
And we're here with Grandmaster Fabiano Caruana, who won his game today. I believe you have 5 out of 6, is that right? Yeah. And there's no rest days here at the Isle of Man. You getting tired at all, or are you fit for this?
A little bit tired. I've been on the road for about 2 months, give or take. But I still think I'm ready to play the last 3 games.
Yeah, you told us earlier that you're still traveling with your gold medal. What's the first thing you're going to do when you get back home? Just take a long nap or something else?
I don't even know what time I get home.
Okay.
So it really depends what time of the day, but I guess I'll be pretty exhausted.
Now, after you won that gold medal, did you get a lot of friends and family call you, text message you, things like that?
Yeah, I got a lot of congratulations from a lot of people, not just family, also a lot of friends who congratulated me. And yeah, it was really nice. Also during the tournament, I was getting a lot of support from people around the world.
Are you pretty happy with your standing so far here in the Isle of Man International?
Yeah, the last 2 games have been very good. I mean, I was a bit lucky in the middle. I had at least one very bad position, and I managed to survive that, and the last 2 games have been very smooth.
Some of the top players have not been so fortunate. They've suffered some setbacks here. What's the key thing for a strong player like yourself to avoid getting upset by a weaker player?
I almost didn't manage to do that. Because against Salim, I was, I think, almost completely lost or close to it. But, I mean, in general, I think it doesn't make sense to go all out against someone who's, let's say, 26-50 or so, because they are very good players. But it does feel like you have to win every game. And every round I'm playing players in high 2600s with white and black. And I kind of feel obligated to push a bit with black. But sometimes it doesn't go so well.
Yesterday, the Dutch juniors made a name for themselves. We also have the world's youngest ever IM here. Out of all of these up-and-coming players, who impresses you the most?
I mean, Van Forest is playing very well here. Pragnananta is still just a kid, but he's already close to the GM title, I guess. So he'll be one to look for in the future. I think that probably Van Forest and Pragnananta are the most promising players in this tournament, most promising junior players.
And Pragananda is what Simon Williams calls double Anand, for lack of a better pronunciation of his name. Well, there you have it. Grandmaster Fabiano Caruana likely playing on board 1 tomorrow in the chess.com Isle of Man International.
So there we go. Hope you enjoyed that. And there are actually very few games still left, at least on the live boards. I think we're going to go and check in with Niels Grandelius.
Yeah, you're good friends. So let's have a look at the position currently. And, Niels on rating should win this one. And Niels has had some good games. Maybe he drew with Fabiano Caruana earlier on in the tournament.
But then his opponent is a young Indian player,
Ooh,
and
scary. I have to say, when I played this last tournament I played in, when I check the pairings, the first thing I do is check their age. And I forgot to do this, and I had one morning game, and it was at 10 o'clock, and I don't want to do a 10 o'clock game anymore, really, you know. And the one morning game I had, I saw I was playing some 2350. I thought, that's not too worrying, he's German, probably be all right. And I went to sit down, and he came up to the table, and he was about this high. And I was like, oh my words, why don't I do any prep? And he literally had to look over the board, and I'm like, he's about 4 years old. And I'm like, oh no, and of course it's 10 o'clock, so he was nice and fresh, bubbly, with his can of Coke, and I was like, oh, you know, so.
How did the game go?
I got a draw, thankfully, so, got a draw. I was lucky
Right,
to survive.
so let's actually, well, our other Swedish friend, Tiger Hillar Persson, was also just in the room a second ago, and he asked, how is Niels doing? I had seen the evil computer evaluation, so I told him he's winning, he's on minus 2.5, and then Tiger said, but is it a human win? So I hadn't looked that far, so shall we figure it out?
Yeah, we can try. I mean, materially speaking, obviously Black is doing well. Black's got exchange for a bishop and a pawn, so you could say he's 1 point up. He's got this big pawn on b2, has Niels, which is very dangerous, and White's got to keep control of the b1 square, so his pieces are tied down to that. Now you've got to think, is there any danger to the position? Now c7 would be a natural move to try and create some problems, but I think just rook c8 and the c-pawn will drop. The other move you've got to consider is d5. If White could play this move, he'd be able to get some counterplay, but e3 then drops. Any other breaks? f5 doesn't look like, you know, it's going to do much here, so I don't think there's much danger in the position. How does Black go about winning this one? That's
maybe the question.
Yeah, that's the only question, and I assume that he can maybe, first of all, I might play rook here, or could I just go rook a8 and rook a1? But then I can't exchange off. You know, you've got a nice hold of the b1, so it's not entirely clear how Black finishes off his opponent, but I'm sure he's winning here with correct play. I mean, I don't know what the correct plan is at the moment. I mean, any ideas there, Fiona, what you should go for? You could go like queen b4 to exchange the queens. I'm not even sure you want to exchange queens here at the moment. I'm not convinced that's a good idea or not.
I think Niels is going to have to put some more work in here.
What about this move? Could you go bishop b4? I want to put my bishop on c3 because that's the only piece I have, which is rubbish. And now if queen
Your
takes
point
b3,
is,
well, Mr. Cheapo, then bishop e1 is my cheapo try. And the idea is, well, I mean, I want to get bishop c3 in, but I'm actually thinking when I do play bishop c3, then you go d5 because I'm no longer on your piece. So maybe that's just a flash load of rubbish. So I don't know. There's a bit of work to do here to win this one. Still, I would say it's not all over yet. And I mean, basically.
Okay, so I think we're going to let Niels figure this out by himself.
He can do the hard work.
He will do, hopefully he will. And we're going to show you another interview, this time by yesterday's hero of the day, Benjamin Bock. He beat Hikaru Nakamura yesterday. He held Wesley today, so let's hear his thoughts.
And we're here with one of the young Dutch Grandmasters I featured in my report on chess.com/news yesterday, Grandmaster Benjamin Bock. He just beat Nakamura, and today he drew Wesley. So I guess you don't fear the Americans, do you?
No, I don't.
Are you hoping to be able to play Fabiano by tournament's end?
We see. Actually, for me, it's I'm not at all used to play these like 27, 90 players one after another. So it was a bit tough, to be honest. But okay, I guess like 1.5 out of 2 against them is a pretty good score.
Not bad at all. And were you black in both games? Is that right?
No, today I was white.
My apologies. Now, yesterday you said that you prepared a lot for Nakamura. Is it fair to say that you are preparing more for these players because of their stature in the chess world?
Yeah, but also because Nakamura, he plays a lot of different openings, so I also had to prepare yeah, quite a bit.
What about psychologically? Are you going into the games thinking any differently because of the fact that they're top 10 players?
Yeah, well, you try to be really focused and try to give it your best. Yes. So.
And the world's getting one of their first looks, at least the casual fan, as far as the strength of the young Dutch team. Why is it that so many good, strong GMs are coming up through the system?
Actually, I don't know, to be honest. Yeah, I have no idea. Yeah, maybe just a coincidence.
The other big news story yesterday was Van Vries' win against Lecco. Do you practice with him, train with him at all, anything like that?
Not really. Sometimes, yeah, I talk to him quite regularly, and we are good friends. But we don't really train together or anything.
And finally, what are your goals going forward in this tournament with 3 rounds to go?
I don't really have a goal or a score that I want to achieve. I just want to play good chess in the last 3 rounds, and we'll see what happens.
And you're a young guy. What would thousands of pounds mean to you? Would you go out and make some sort of luxury purchase?
No, not really. Probably I'll just invest it in my chess. So.
Well, there you have it. Grandmaster Benjamin Bach, one of the fine young Dutch talents here at the Chess.com Isle of Man International. And we're here with one of the young Dutch Grandmasters I featured in my report on chess.
So there you go. That were the 2 interviews of the day, and then we had some great guests in here. Malcolm Payne, of course, who you all know, and if you don't, then you should. Then we had tournament leader Pavel Ilyanov and John Paul Wallace. And we now, I believe, have the results ready for you.
Brilliant. So we do have a clear leader now, Fiona, and of course, as you were just saying, Pavel was in here, Pavel Ilyanov, and he defeated Mr. Shirov on the board. The good news for Shirov is he can go and eat somewhere else tonight, so it's not all bad news for him. And, well, there's a big challenge there just behind him with Fabiano, who might have to play. It looks like Fabiano
I think they will
playing.
play tomorrow.
So that's a big game.
Yeah.
Fabiano can take the lead there.
Fabiano will most likely have the white pieces.
Yeah. And what are the other results there, Fiona?
So Benjamin Bock holding Wesley So to a draw. Maxim Wurtstein getting the better of Jordan van Verreest. So we have 2 more players on 5, but I think as Caruana is the highest rated, he should be playing. So my guess for the pairings is Karyanov.
Contagious.
Caruana against Ilyanov, and Vidit with the white pieces against Wurtstein is what my guess for the pairings tomorrow.
I wouldn't rule out Vidit to win this tournament because he's playing exceptionally
very
well.
Impressive.
Yeah, I mean my pick, Mickey Adams managed to defeat Gupta, so that's good news for me. It's a pity we didn't get a chance to see Naidic's game because he threw Harry up the board and he won in some brilliant style apparently. So that would have been nice to see.
And then we had a few draws there. Salem overcame Batsiashvili, what also was an interesting game, but unfortunately we didn't have the chance to get back to it. Our good friend David Howell, first winner of the day, I believe, won with 21 moves as black, and then Hikaru did beat Elizabeth Pates. One result which we just heard of, which isn't on the screen because it was played on a much, much lower board, is Wang Hao, the Chinese Super-Grandmaster, rated over 2700. He was on 2 out of 5, and he didn't manage to win again. So he was held to a draw by Maxim Wurtstein's wife, Teresa.
Well, he needs to hit the wine today, doesn't he? I mean, that's probably the worst ever result he's had, I'd imagine, in any tournament. So got to be pretty devastating for him. But Fiona, we're 2/3 of the way through the tournament.
Yeah, 3 more rounds to go.
3 more.
I think today was, we talked about this earlier, today was a quieter day. Everyone's getting ready for the action tomorrow.
Exactly, it's going to be a great day tomorrow.
So tomorrow, do not miss the show at any cost.
Okay. Same time.
Same place. We're looking forward to seeing you. Thanks for watching. Thanks for interacting with us in the chat, on Twitter. And we look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Have a lovely evening and see you then.
It's the Blitz chess match the world has been waiting for. Hikaru Nakamura versus Magnus Carlsen. The Grandmaster Blitz Battle Championship reaches its thrilling conclusion on October 27th, where after 6 months of epic online battles, the two pre-tournament favorites find themselves as the last two men standing. Four-time U.S. champion Hikaru Nakamura reached the finale, first by beating India's Pantala Hari Krishna in a one-sided bullet affair, before he beat Maxime Vacher-Lagrave with one of the most accurate blitz chess sessions we've ever recorded for online play. But world champion Magnus Carlsen was no less impressive on his road. First, beating qualified GM Tigran Petrosian with a dominant and record-setting 21-4 score, before destroying reigning World Blitz champion Sasha Grishik in the bullet chess games, perhaps sending a message to Nakamura that their bullet games will not be a one-sided affair. The Grandmaster Blitz Battle Championship has been brought to you by PeopleTalk.ru, Buron Venture Capital, and Indigo Capital Partners. And the finals match on October 27th, set for 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, can be viewed live at chess.com/TV, twitch.tv/chess, as well as numerous other foreign language portals. These two Blitz chess titans will battle it out for the better part of the $11,000 cash prize just for this final 3-hour chess match. With the entire world watching, the only question left is, who do you think will win?
I wouldn't dare consider myself a Manxman. I'm what here is called a stopover. The Isle of Man's definitely home for me now. In the middle of the 19th century, the island really began to try and grow its tourist trade. They chose to establish a steam railway. The sight, the smell and the sound of that steam railway is very evocative. The Great Laxey Wheel, or the Lady Isabella as she's called, is a massive working water wheel designed to pump water out of the deep mines. It's now the largest working water wheel in the world. Peel Castle's on an island called St Patrick's Isle, and the castle has a history of religious settlement and defence that makes a real strange mixture in the buildings that you see. The whole island itself, though, St Patrick's Isle, is enclosed by a curtain wall, a wall that goes all the way around it. What's special to me about the island is it's all sorts of different places in one. It's all sorts of different people. In a sense, it's the whole world in a tiny place.
Chess.com is about playing. At any moment, there are thousands of people from around the world playing on Chess.com. So whether you're a total beginner or a grandmaster, you'll find a game quickly with someone at your level. You can play at any pace, from 1-minute bullet to 5-minute blitz to 60-minute games. Or you can play more relaxed games where you have several days to make your move. There are tournaments starting every few minutes. Or you can play against our customizable coaching computer. Chess.com is for learning. Chess isn't just about playing, it's about getting better. Chess.com puts the best training tools at your fingertips. Sharpen your game with over 50,000 tactics puzzles. Improve your strategy with training videos by top grandmasters. Get instant feedback after your games with real-time computer analysis. Regardless of where you're at now, you can take your game to the next level. Chess.com is for sharing. Join the community where you can discuss chess ideas in the forums and follow the latest chess news. Or join a club with friends and play in a league against other clubs. You can find all this in your browser at home and at work, or on the go with your phone or tablet. Signing up is free and easy. So what are you waiting for? Enjoy your game.